Hello, it's Lynn Watts here with Wyatt the Wonder Dog Books. And today I want to share a couple of picture books with you that you can use to illustrate self-esteem, to talk about what goes into self-esteem with a child, to help them develop a positive self-esteem and some of the traits and characteristics and things that go into that. So the first one that I'm going to share with you is a Wyatt the Wonder Dog book, and this one is called Wyatt the Wonder Dog Tries Again. And that trying again is really the key part here. So um, a lot of what is involved in developing self-esteem involves developing self-confidence, and what's involved in doing that is having a growth mindset or developing a growth mindset, which involves trying again. It means recognizing that we all are learners and that we always are keeping learning through mistakes. So there, a huge part of being successful and feeling good about ourselves is recognizing that mistakes are part of learning. And that is so important in a school setting. So in this particular book, Wyatt is not chosen to be on a traveling baseball team, and he's feeling pretty down about it. And so the book goes into what does he want to do about that? Does he want to try again? Is this something that he is interested in, that he has talent, passion for? And also how that applies to other things that would be new. Does that mean you give up trying anything that's new? Or do you try new things because you recognize that there's a learning curve that's part of how we learn and how we grow? So, growth mindset is a very important part of self-esteem and confidence, and it's based in perseverance and practice. And this book illustrates all of that. Another book that I used quite a lot when I was in the classroom is a book called Amazing Grace. And this is about a little girl named Grace whose class is about to put on a production of Peter Pan, and she decides that she would like to try out for the role of Peter Pan. And her classmates are very discouraging of her for various reasons. They say she can't be Peter Pan because she's not a boy. They say that she can't be Peter Pan because she's black. And so she goes home, talks to her grandmother, and her grandmother encourages her not to let other people's ideas of what she can and can't do hold her back, but rather to go for that as something she wants to accomplish. And her grandmother takes her to see a ballerina and helps her to see, kind of have a vision of who she could be if that's what she wants to do. And then she puts in obviously a lot of practice and a lot of perseverance to get that role in the classroom. So really a great book. This is written by Mary Hoffman. And I think Carolyn Birch is probably the illustrator of this book. Let me make sure in case you want to look for it. Yes, yes. Carolyn Birch is the illustrator. So Mary Hoffman is the author of that book, if you want to look for that. Then if you want to take that into a lesson, there's a good lesson in my small group guide on setting an intention. And in that lesson, I go into the difference between setting an intention and setting a goal. And also talk about, what are you excited about? What are you willing to put energy into in order to make it happen? And the great thing about the lessons in here, first of all, they're designed for a small group. You could use a lot of the concepts individually if you wanted to, but in a small group, there's an icebreaker for the group. Then there's a time to talk about intentions, and then there is some activities to talk about, questions to answer. And then in each one of the lessons in here, there is a journal page where the child can write what not just what they learn, but answer some questions. So in this particular one, it says, now that you have an intention, write a letter to yourself about why you chose that intention to focus on and what you hope will be the result. And then share the letter with someone else in the group. So a good intention requires support, and it also requires practice and perseverance. So a great way to really bring that idea home. And one of the things that we know about journaling is that it's a very effective way to be successful when we set an intention. There's a lot of good reasons for that. In this video, or in the information underneath this video, I will include a link where you can go to a blog I wrote about all the great things that journaling can do for really anybody, but for children in particular, in terms of developing an intention, developing the thoughts around it, creating a visualization of what they want to do, and working through that. So journaling can be very effective, and it's a journal page in each one of the lessons here. So I hope that helps you in your work with young children. And as always, thanks so much for all you do to better the lives of children.